Hey guys, it's Shades here, and this is a vlog that's probably been long overdue. I'm here to give you guys an update on what's been happening with RVT and some of the reasons why things have ended up the way they have. For those of you who have honestly not kept up, which quite frankly I don't blame you at this point, the site's been down since November. There's been several reasons why this has happened. And I'm not going to sit here and say all of them are not my fault, because most of them are. Most of it's been funding. We have not been making any money on the site, and thus have not been able to keep it afloat for very long, and it's been a very difficult issue. Admittedly, it's been a problem that we should have addressed a long time ago. Now, thankfully, some certain things have come into play that have fixed that. As I noted a little bit in my last vlog, and I've mentioned on live streams, is that we've gotten some assistance. One of our fans, Matt Dowding, who is the guy who made Easy's website, tokutai.me, is working to build a brand new RVT. Because of circumstances beyond our control, it's going to be built from the ground up. It's going to be a completely new site, built from scratch. Reason being is because the old RVT has gone. Because we have not been able to keep the servers up, the files from the original site are as dead as doornails. We might be able to salvage a few of the assets from possibly the Wayback Machine and things like that, but otherwise, the old site is dead and gone for good. We're going to have to start completely from scratch, and I know that's going to be really upsetting. We were at least hoping we could salvage the database and everything like that, so we could keep everyone's user counts and just transfer those over, and maybe everything, hopefully salvage some of it, but unfortunately it is all completely gone. And I know what you're thinking, well, why didn't you make a backup of the site? Well, before all this happened, I did. I did have a backup on the old external hard drive that I had, which is also now destroyed because it ended up falling and breaking a few months back, just as all this was going down. So basically, the shit just piled on all at once for us. I'm not gonna lie, it was a disaster. But I want to assure you guys that RVT is not giving up. The contributors that we have right now, none of them are giving up. They're all sticking with us. They're all, holding out through the long haul. And once the new site is back up, we should have everybody back on board without any problems. Nobody has left, which I am very grateful for. Let me tell you, people like the Diva, Animat, and everybody has shown support throughout all this, which trust me, I'm grateful for. Nobody has said they are leaving the site after all this, which, given the lovely history we've had at RVT, means a lot. It really does, that they were willing to stick with us through this. But this means that a lot of changes are going to be happening. One of the biggest changes, I think, is going to be a much more emphasis on user content. We are going to be shifting away, slowly but surely, from a contributor-based, producer-based site like that guy with the glasses, or should I say Channel Awesome now, to a more user-based thing. Kind of like Newgrounds, but with a few less dick jokes. Not gone, but a few less, and more videos than Flash. Though, in the future, we are going to start incorporating other forms of media. We're not just going to be doing video content. We're going to be including text-based reviews. We're going to be including, hopefully somewhere down the line, stuff like art galleries and webcomics and stuff like that as well. That's still going to be a little ways down the line, but it is something we are working towards. And that's something we would love for you guys to be able to post. You might still be able to post some stuff anyway, but I'm just saying we're going to try to make it easier for that kind of content going further down the road. So that's going to be something we can look forward to in the future. But the other thing I wanted to mention is a lot of what has been happening, I'll admit, is on a personal level. A lot of it has been with me, and I want to share this with you guys, not for you guys to feel sorry for me. Let me make that very clear right now. I don't want you to feel sorry for me for everything that has been happening with me personally, because there's been a lot of personal issues that I've never really laid out on the table, but I think, given in the age of open communication that we have out here, I feel comfortable in sharing with this, you guys, because I want to show you guys what I've had to struggle through just to get to this point. Because honestly, it has been a struggle. It really has. Some of you know about this, and some of you don't. And I want to share with you guys a personal story. As I've mentioned in many, many times, I suffer from attention deficit hyperactive disorder, ADHD. And it has been devastating to deal with. And this last year especially has been especially difficult. Simply put, I hit rock bottom. I think I hit rock bottom this last August. Recovering from that has been devastating, especially how painful was the accident with my wife, Lady K. For those who don't know about that story, back in September, she was in a very serious car accident Thankfully, she survived and has had minimal damage. The worst that she's had is she's had several major injuries on her left shoulder, which she's about 90% recovered from. So she's got almost full range of motion. She's got pretty much full range of motion. She's got most of her strength back, so she's doing a lot better. But that was on top of everything else that was going on. That caused me to hit rock bottom, and I had completely just hit a level of depression, bordering on suicidal. I mean, I didn't go there, but I was bordering it. Throughout the recovery of all of this, I've been on a journey of self-discovery and self-reflection to kind of learn a few things. I've also been making changes to my diet and my medication, and a recent change has already started to take a huge effect. And if that trend continues, then we might be onto something else here. You know, I'm sure many of you have dealt with this kind of thing. I know a lot of my fans have similar mental health issues, and trust me, if you don't have anything like that, I mean, you can know, and you may have some understanding of what's going on, but unless you actually have this kind of condition, you really don't understand what it feels like to have thoughts racing through your head nonstop and not being able to pull the brake. You can't stop those thoughts from flowing through your head, and it is devastating, the thoughts that can pop in when that happens. I'm slowly getting to a point where I'm kind of fixing that, or at least managing it to some extent. With that said, that means that a lot of changes, we're going to be able to start pushing forward a lot of changes. Also bear in mind that part of the problem is we had a serious issue with bugs in our house for a while, mainly bed bugs that somehow got in. We still don't even know where they came from. But as a result, a lot of our electronic equipment has been stored away for over 6 months. That was starting back in September, so we won't be able to access them till probably about the end of March. That's the reason why a lot of the streams haven't been aired, a lot of my videos haven't been published. A lot of that has not happened because I have not been able to get access to my equipment to work on that. I mean, what video content I have available to me is trapped in that storage bin, sealed up and untouchable. And, of course, whatever else I had left was on my external, which is now permanently gone. Thankfully, a lot of my stream content is on my desktop, which is saved. And a lot of my convention stuff, like my Ranger Stop video, was also not with me. That was, my computer was already locked up before I got to Ranger Stop. So that content is saved, as well as a lot of, in my MetroCon interviews, which I've yet to post, that's actually already completed. I just haven't posted it. And I'll be doing that very soon. I've been meaning to post that for a long time now. It's just, because of everything else that's going on, I just have not gotten around to it. And I sincerely apologize for that. But those MetroCon interviews are coming. I mean, you can see the look in my eyes. I am exhausted from all of this that I've been dealing with. And of course, now we got to get ready for the next MetroCon, and then following up the next Ranger Stop, and a lot of announcements have been made on both fronts. So, if you've been listening to the Ranger Recap, you probably heard most of this, or if you are a regular listener on Matty J Live, which I am a regular on. I mean, I'm practically a co-host on that show at this point. I'm part of the crew that works that show. You've probably heard a lot of these announcements that have been happening. But I want to thank you guys for sticking with me for this long. I know for a fact that I have not been a very open person about a lot of this. It was more of a matter of I needed to know how to address this with you guys. I honestly did. This has been a very difficult time for me. And I want to thank you guys, all of my fans who have stuck with me throughout all of this. You guys have been awesome. Special shout out to guys like Bobber33 who recently donated $100 to my Patreon. Even if it's just for 1 month, which I understand if that's the case, but that 1 month made a huge difference. And even though I can't get the site back, I mean, that was the intent. I promised him that I would put the money towards the site, and I intend to do that. It just won't be for bringing the old site back, because honestly, I can't. It's just not going to happen. The old site is dead and gone. Even if I got the server started back up again, the web hosting company we used, InMotion, has told us that after like 2 weeks, they delete the files that are on that server to make room for anyone else who actually wants to use it. So even if I did pay to get the server back online, there's nothing left. It's all gone. All of it. If there's anyone truly devastated about that, it's me. I am devastated because that's a lot of work I was hoping to salvage out of the old site before we transfer everything over. But unfortunately, we are going to have to start brand new from scratch, and it's going to be difficult. So it's going to take some time, but I can promise you we are not giving up. This, to me, is us starting fresh. We are putting the past 100% behind us, getting rid of the old, and bringing in a brand new RVT for you guys. And I want to give another shout out to Matt Dowding again. he is willing to host a server for no cost, and he's willing to help us design a brand new site. I can't guarantee it's going to be the greatest site ever. You know, I'm not going to promise that, because, you know, again, we're getting what we paid for here. We're not paying anything for this, so whatever we get, we get. But I know for a fact, based on how Toku Time's site looks, we should be getting something definitely usable. We will get something that you guys will be able to use and enjoy. Our content will be easily accessible. We will work towards building a community that you guys can be a part of. Give us some time to get this fixed, and I promise you we'll do our best to make it worth it for you guys. We'll continue to host our live stream events. We will continue to produce new content for you guys as often as possible, preferably every day, but at least several times a week you will get new content from us. We hope that you guys will stick with us through the long haul, because we're sticking it out for you guys. All we ask is you do the same. But every single one of you guys that have stuck with us this long, you guys all are awesome as hell and deserve all the respect in the world. Anyone else would have given up on us by now. Honestly, we should have been dead and gone by now, but the fact that you guys still stick with us means a lot. So thank you so much. In the meantime, we're going to continue to do stuff. Ranger Recap's coming up pretty soon. We should have a new episode of Ranger Recap. Matty J Live, every Wednesday I'm there with TWK, Mike Shell, and of course Matty J hosting. One way or the other, Toku Riffs is coming back. Whether it be hosted by Easy or myself, Toku Riffs will be coming back very soon, and once that happens, we're going to finish up Gone, and we're going to start Drive for good or for bad, finish up Tokuger. We got a ton of movies to catch up on. We got a lot of content for you guys to deal with, so be ready. RVT's coming back stronger than ever, and until then, we'll see you around. I'm the Shades, and we'll see you next time. Rock on!